Millersburg, Oregon.
I'm Chris Buckley, and I'm local here to Salem.
I'm Andrew Alberg. I'm from Vancouver, Washington.
I'm Byron Pavakolian. I'm a retired professor from Denison University in Ohio.
My name is Heather. I'm from Kaiser.
My name is Alex Moselle, and I'm from Salem, Oregon.
And we were just curious what you think the general intention of the U.S. government and the U.S. military is in the Middle East.
To control it.
Near as I can tell now under the current administration, the intent is what was actually spoken by our last, in that help them to set up their own governments so that they can take care of their own business, so that we can take care of our own business.
That's where you attack someone before you've been attacked. What's that called? Preemptive strike. It's preemptive keeping things together.
As far as the strategy that they have now, I feel that it's probably a mixture of good intentions with some political means.
Well, I think they want to control the rise to greater power of Iran, and they've opened up that can of worms themselves by taking Saddam Hussein out of the picture. And they also want to control the safety of Israel. They also want to control natural gas and oil flows.
I think they're genuinely to drive out Al-Qaeda, control Al-Qaeda, prevent another terrorist attack. Whether it's worth it or not, I don't know, but I'm not really skeptical about that. In Iraq, I honestly don't know the intentions, and I don't think many people can say definitely what the intentions of the Bush administration were. But as of now, I think our continued presence is to prevent a large-scale civil war in the country among the three large ethnicities.
Do you think that Islam as a religion is against educating women?
From what I've heard of it, yes.
Having never read the Quran through, I couldn't tell you. I know that many Islamic theocratic governments seem to be very against educating women.
In fact, throughout the Quran, there are various statements made to the in the direction of calling for the education of the entire population, woman and man. There are things that are totally extraneous to Islam that are used as excuses for why some men perpetrate misogynistic actions, and also how the West sees their actions as being something that is part and parcel of Islam.
I would say historically, as other religions, they probably have not focused on women's rights as much. And I do believe that there are some Muslim groups that are very oppressive to women. But I don't believe that that's something that's all Muslims are against women's rights. I don't think that.
It will be cited to support whatever practices its practitioners believe to be right, just like any other religion.
And do you support anthropologists who have a knowledge of, the historical implications and the culture and the language being on the ground with the American military as they are now?
I think that it would be something that would be helpful in the way that they deal with, citizens and people that are, from those areas. I think it's always better to have a well-rounded view of how you're dealing with another culture and another group of people.
I would much rather see American anthropologists talking to, say, Afghani anthropologists, because I'm certain they have an equivalent. The country is far from intellectually bankrupt.
And I support anthropology 100%, even in military situations, especially in military situations. Look at me, if I had a rifle in my hand right now, I still don't know anything about the Middle East. Still got a rifle in my hand. But if I had an anthropologist next to me, she'd probably tell me where that rifle came from, and then tell me about where I am.
I would agree to teaching the military how to deal with the local populations, but putting uniforms on anthropologists and putting guns in their hands and having them move with the military are very unethical actions on the part of the anthropologists. And they've been roundly condemned by the association.
And your information that you have, do you think you get that from the news, or where do you think you obtain your knowledge the most?
I have fortunately been able to read some books, really kind of opened my eyes to kind of the ethnocentric perspective that I have regarding a lot of those areas. So that's helped. I've done some research on the side. I've listened to the media. I have kind of I try to keep a pretty self-educated view on things, but it's always difficult when you're kind of being bombarded with a lot of different forms of media. So
People I work with.
All my knowledge of the Middle East comes from the news and the newspapers and or random things I try to learn in school, but really school's not working out so well.
As a general issue, it's bothered me from the time that the revolution started that the U.S. and Europe, not just the U.S., is so usually uninterested in countries like Afghanistan or Iran unless it can be seen as some kind of threat or some kind of economic interest or something that we get our goodies out of. I wish there were a possibility that the country's values could be of concern to the West for their own sake, not just because of strategies and policies and the goodies that come back to us.